Okay, students, welcome to our short video on using a calculator. Now, these are some things that you need to know on this first unit. So here I have my TI-84 graphing calculator. What a wonderful piece of technology, okay? I really do want you to feel comfortable becoming familiar with this and using this is a very important part of the course. So let's just jump right in here and talk about some things that you need to know. I hope this helps you out. Okay, students, so here we go. Here I have my calculator, my TI-84 calculator, and a couple things I want to point out to you. Of course, this is our home screen. These are our graph keys, and probably the most important thing is this key right here, stat. Okay, if you notice above the stat is the list. To get to that, you hit the blue, second, and then list, okay? Don't forget you have your number keys here, okay? And right above the 1 is L1. Right above the 2 is L2. So we're going to need those keys as well. Let me see if I could zoom in on this a little bit so we perhaps could see it. No, zoomed in a little too much. Okay, here we go. Now, this is the third time I made this video, so I should be getting it down by now. Now, what are we going to use the calculator for? Well, we're going to do a lot of number crunching, okay, on the calculator. We're going to use the list in a very serious way, statistical procedures, and then graphical representations of data. So let me hit what I call the stat key. Now, we're going to use this a lot. So this is my stat editor. I could do some things with lists here. If I go to the right, I select this option, and there's some statistical procedures. There's some regression. You're going to use this first two a whole lot here, okay? The first two. And then some tests. We're going to use this as we get toward the second or third of the course. We're going to use this a whole bunch, and hopefully that'll be very exciting for you. Now, I'm going to go over here to edit, and I'm going to hit the enter key. So this is my statistical editor, okay? Keep that in mind. Now, notice at the top, I already have a couple things planned out. I got L1, L2, and L3, okay? That should be on yours as well. If not, please let me know. All right, so if I want to clear values, I just hit clear and hit enter. So that clears a list of information. Let's just put some numbers in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Got 4 numbers in there. Now, what if I wanted to display that list? Well, I want to get out of my editor. I'm going to hit second quit. Okay, that's how I do it. And then I'm going to print the list. So I want to print L1. And there it is right there. Now, I probably could go to the actual L1 in the above the 1 key and do that as well. So keep that in mind. All right, let me go back to my editor. And let me put some other numbers in there. 2, 8, 4, 6, 7, let's just say, okay? All right, so if I wanted to print that out, okay, I could clear, and then second 1. All right, so there are the numbers. What if I wanted to put them in numerical order? That would be sorting them. And the way to do that is go back to your statistical editor, and go sort A, and then tell the calculator what list you want to sort, and there you go, and hit enter there. And if you want to see the list, paste L1 to the screen, and notice the numbers are in order. That could help you out. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, one of the things you're going to use a lot in the class is, let me clear. I'm going to use the little clear key right here. One of the things you're going to use in the class a whole lot are these first 2 items here. 1 variable statistics, 2 variable statistics. So let's just say I wanted to find out all the statistics related to that list 1. Well, L1 is the default. You could just hit enter and it'll give you the information on L1. But let me do that again here, okay? So stat, 1 variable statistics, and I want to select L1 just for the sake of argument here, okay? So I hit enter, and now I have pasted to my home screen the result of that analysis of that one variable. It could represent a lot of different things. So let's take a look at this here for a moment. Notice over here we have the average, x bar. Here we have the summation of the values, the summation of the squares. This S and little x is standing for sample standard deviation. And this sigma x is standing for the population standard deviation. Notice the difference in the two numbers. N is telling us how many numbers. Here's the minimum. Here's Q1, which is the median of the first half of the data, or 25%. Here's the median. Here's Q3. Here's the maximum value. Okay, so that's a lot of really good information, and you're going to use that a lot in these first few lessons, so I hope that helped you out. All right, so what I want to do is take a moment, clear that out, and point out some things in lessons 1 through 6 that you're going to be using. You're going to be using the list a lot, one variable statistics. You could do a histogram, okay? Let's see. Another thing that you're going to do is a frequency distribution table. So let me show you something about a frequency distribution table. If I hit Stat and go back to my editor, let's just make believe that this is standing for, I don't know, how many times I stopped at a traffic light in a day, okay? But let's say there were 3 days that I was stopping twice, 5 days I was stopping 4 times, 3, 6, 1, 7, and 1, 8. Now, let's say I want to find the average of all of those numbers. Now remember, there are actually 3 2s, right? And there are 5 4s. So you could multiply them together, add and get the average, or believe it or not, you could go back to your Stat button, and then you could hit Calc one variable statistics, but this time you're going to tell it that your values are in L1. I'm trying to remember, I think I used a comma here. And then your frequency is in L2. And then I hit enter, and lo and behold, that is a very easy way of finding the information that's given to you in a frequency distribution table. Okay, another item that you're going to be using a lot is this standard deviation. And when I get to, I'll make a separate video on that, but that will be really, really neat. Another thing that you're going to talk about is the standard normal curve, okay? And that is, you're going to see that frequently through the course. And I'm going to use the calculator to show you how to do that in a separate video. Let's see. I think that's all I'm going to talk about on this item. Okay, so a couple things here. We talked briefly about the calculator here. Really a great tool, and I hope you really enjoy using it. I enjoy teaching it. I'm going to post a video with a little calculator overview, and that will help some of you folks that may need that assistance. Also, in your course resources, part of your table of contents, the author of the book, Barry Monk, and his assistant or fellow peer, they put together a series of videos for the TI-84, and I think you'll enjoy that as well. Also, I do want you to know that there are other calculator videos that I will make or I will access, and I will try to put them in the unit question discussion area, the unit that they fit into, and that will be a very good opportunity for you to have access to that. You don't have to watch them all, but there are some things that you may learn by watching these videos. And then another important thing that I need to mention on the front end here, your course has some TI-84 procedures that are explained. And so I want to be able to provide the data for you for that. And I want to be able to illustrate those with some other videos. And I would like to be able to make sure that you know how to do the statistical procedure while you're going through each lesson. So you may have a question. You may get stuck, okay? There are other resources that are available besides me, but you are welcome to contact me, and I'll do everything I can to assist you. I want you to learn how to use the TI-84 calculator because it's a big part of how we're focusing in on that particular technology in our study of introductory statistics. I hope this helped you out, and best wishes.